Welcome to The Last Word. Chris Popes, I'm David Jenkins, and Chris, it is cold.
It's a little cold, a little chilly.
I'm ready for
Experienced
summer.
that firsthand a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
Cameraman, not too fast, swift on his feet. Off the door.
It's late at
Got
night.
one of these.
It's late at night.
We got one of these. Hold on.
We're stuck outside.
Yeah, we're stuck outside.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Freeze for a little bit.
Yeah, you'll be okay. It's not cold outside at all.
So you'll excuse us if our lips are frozen and we haven't completely got warm
Yeah.
from the frigidness that we were.
Yeah, looking at you, Charlie.
Yeah. Thanks for that. But we just got back from the SEMO Conference Tournament, the semifinals. The championship is set, Sikeston and Jackson. Not exactly the marquee matchup everybody was looking for. I think everybody wanted to see that Sikeston-Poplar Bluff game, but Poplar Bluff missing Mercedes Leach. He's out with stress fracture, I believe, in the leg. And so he's missed some time. Poplar Bluff just wasn't just didn't really have it tonight. Jackson took it to him. And so it'll be Jackson and Sikeston tomorrow night. And Sikeston winning a big game against their rival, Charleston, a great atmosphere tonight.
Always is. It always is for Sikeston Charleston. And it might not have been the best played game, but it's always entertaining.
It's early in the year. You're not going to get You're really not going to get a well played game. But great atmosphere. Two teams that are just a friendly rivalry. I would say. I don't think there's any animosity toward each other, but they certainly want to beat each other.
Absolutely.
And the fans are into the game from the tip. I showed up at like 5:20 and had to park a mile and a half away, and the game didn't start till 6. So I mean, it's always fun when those two get together, and they gave the fans their money's worth tonight.
Absolutely. Fred Thatch, Kevin Jones, they put Sykes on their back and pulled out late, and it was Kevin, the sophomore, to another sophomore that kind of separated them at the end to kind of pull that away. And that's got to be good to see if you're a Sikeston fan, to have those two young guys, Kevin Jones and Trey Jenkins, kind of come up big and not having to rely so much on Fred Thatch. But he's okay with having to carry the bulk of the load a lot of times. And
Sykes's depth. See, my lips are frozen. Thanks, Charlie. Sykes's depth, especially early in the season, really plays a factor because they run people in and out. Charleston seemed to get a little tired there in the fourth quarter, late third quarter. Mm-hmm. They just seemed like their legs just weren't there. They weren't getting down the floor as fast on defense, and that led to some layups from Jones to Jenkins in there. And but it was I thought the first half, I mean, they were back and forth. Sikeston built a 10-point lead, but Charleston, as they've shown, they're never a lead is not safe with them. They can come back. They hit some shots, and it was tied at halftime. A very well played game. It'll be a nice game in January when those two get together, and I would assume they'll both be playing a little bit crisper after the Christmas.
Absolutely, and Charleston, like you said, having to come back against Cape Central a couple days ago, down 17. They're not ever out of it, and especially the Sikeston Charleston game. They're not usually ever out of it. It's always tooth and nail towards the end. But Mardarian Clark, he stepped it up from a kind of not a great performance against Cape Central. Stepped it up against them. He played big. Delonte Fisher is another kid that played big inside. DeMarcus Sharp finally looked like he kind of got going after a slow start to the season. So it's just as Sikeston has their big three, they have their big three as well. I'll throw in Jakravis Rogers in there too. He played very well as far as handling the ball and scoring, and he led them in scoring tonight. So he's a guy that I don't know if they expected that from him right now, but he's definitely he in a big game, in a big situation. He came up big for them.
Yeah, he's really become a leader for them. He hit the big shots against Dexter earlier in the year. I think he had a big shot against
forced overtime at
Riverbend, and tonight he was there for a while. Sikeston's going on a run. He's the only one doing anything for Charleston, hitting shots, just taking it coast to coast, going in for layups. He's really become a leader for them and is a key part of their team. And like I said, I'm not sure anybody if anybody really expected that, but he's really stepped up. You look at the other side, Jackson, they've got a lot of height, always have height to Jackson, and more 6'7", 6'8". It's going to be tough for Sikeston with the height, but I think Sikeston's athleticism just gets them up and down the floor, especially playing back-to-back nights. Yeah. I think that really benefits Sikeston, just getting up and down the floor. As long as they come out, fired up and are ready to go, I think Sikeston takes care of Jackson in the championship.
I think so too. And if they get up, I think they will early. You know, they're going to win a SEMO Conference Tournament championship. That's always nice to have. You know, everybody's excited about that. But if they get up early, get one of their patented first quarter runs, I don't know if Jackson has enough to stop them or to kind of counteract like maybe a Charleston would. You know, they don't have that up and down pace to kind of because I don't know if they have. Like I said, I don't know if they have the guys to stop Fred, Kevin, Trey. The list goes on as far as that goes.
I think they can kind of neutralize Trey a little bit inside with their height. He's still a sophomore, still doesn't have quite that strength that Fred does. Fred can use his muscle to get in there. But it's you're not going to stop Fred Thatch. I mean, he's just you're just not going to stop him. You just try to keep him contained. And Kevin Jones has really come on this year and really looks really good. So
I'll tell you who I was impressed with tonight in a big atmosphere in a first Charleston game experience, and that was Peyton Howard. Mm-hmm. He came in, gave them some valuable minutes.
Hit a big shot. Hit a big three.
Just ball handling. Just was he did not look like a freshman out there. He won't show up on the stat sheet, but I know Coach Hollifield was very impressed with him and had him out there towards the end. So he was okay with him being out there.
He's got a lot of skills. Yeah. He has a lot of skills, and you can just see him. And he's going to be a player that Sikeston fans are going to be hearing about for quite some time.
Just a freshman.
A freshman.
You had four guys that's coming back all next year. That's getting college looks. I know already. So you're okay, Sikeston Bulldogs. Yeah. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, Sikeston has it made for a few years.
Yeah.
We go to the third place game tomorrow, or I guess tonight when everybody's watching this. You're going to have Charleston against Poplar Bluff. Those third place games are tough. You never know what team's going to show up. Your own team, are you going to be motivated to go out there and win the game? I like Charleston in this game just because I don't think Danny Farmer is happy after the loss to Sikeston, and I don't think he'll kind of light a fire in them, and I think they'll play well in the third place game.
He won't, but he'll definitely be, I think, fired up. But just how will his players respond after winning a game that until the last 2 minutes they had a chance to win? It was just kind of one of those deals where. You got to come back and play that third place game. You're not really excited about it. You just lost to Sikeston. That's it, but still do it. But I like Charleston too. Just kind of the egg that Poplar Bluff kind of laid against Jackson. I was expecting Poplar Bluff to go in and not whoop them, but just win 10, 12 points or something like that. But they apparently from their first game of this conference tournament to now, I don't know what went wrong, but they look great for their first game.
Yeah, they really struggled to score tonight. It didn't look like they had the outside shooting to get them, that they needed, and it really, Jackson was able to eliminate the inside game. So, you would think that they would have a little more success inside against Charleston than they did against Jackson, but. It's a lot of matchups, and it's early in the year, and it's high school kids. As Dexter's proven this year, they can look really good, and they can look really bad in one night.
I tell you what, it's like my story last night was the saga of Dexter, the basketball, these last 3 nights. It really has been. It was a trilogy of games. It was just a horrible effort their first game. Come back and look great the second game, and then kind of so the next. So you never know. It's very early still in the season.
You're dealing with 16 and 17-year-old kids, and you never know. Somebody may be mad at someone else. Somebody's girlfriend may be mad. You never know with 16, 17-year-old kids.
Oh yeah.
But the coaches do everything. It's funny what the coaches are just begging and pleading and about ready to pop a blood vessel trying to get these kids playing hard. It's just they're 16, 17-year-old kids, and you're not going to get, and you're playing 30 games a year, 25, 30 games a year. You're not going to get their best game every single night.
Yeah,
it's just not going to happen.
You talk about coaches. I am continually impressed by the caliber of coaches that SEMO Conference has.
Oh,
they know their team backwards and forwards. They know their personnel. They know exactly what they do. Of course, a lot of them's been there a long time, and they know the kids that they have. But just up and down the lineup, you see just Hall of Fame coaches and guys that know what to do. And we're blessed to have guys like that around because a lot of times in different parts of the state they don't have the caliber that we have as far as coaching goes.
Yeah, you can't name a bad coach in the conference. Not a single one.
No, not at all.
It's just a fun conference to watch, and it's it'll be a fun night tonight as we see the final night of it. Then New Madrid, we haven't mentioned them, playing 4 games.
Yeah. 4 games in the conference tournament. They play for the consolation championship against I forgot who, Notre Dame. They played Notre Dame. Could have played Dexter again.
Yeah, that could have been a rematch. We've never had one team play, to my knowledge, play 4 games, and now you could have had a chance. You had a chance to play. Had a chance to have 2 of them, and I really thought that going in, Dexter was better than Notre Dame. Yeah. They just never could get it going against Notre Dame. But Dexter's come a long way from a couple years ago. They. Now you're looking at these games. They're playing them close. Now you're looking for them to start winning some of these games against the Notre Dames and stuff where they're even. And New Madrid, I've been very impressed with New Madrid. Coach Day has done a fabulous job. I was wondering if they were going to win 5 or 6 games. Yeah. Really, you look at their schedule. You look what they had coming back, and you didn't think that they had a whole lot, but Coach Day has done a tremendous job with them, and I've just been really impressed with what they've done. And I actually think they're going to beat Notre Dame tonight. I really do. I think the way they're playing, I think
if they continue to play as hard, man, they play hard. They have to. They're kind of one of those teams. They have to grit and grind games, and they have to outplay you to be in it. And guys like Eddie Granberry and Jarvis Haynes, I've been really impressed with them as far as just giving the effort. And of course, you know what you're going to get out of Jamarcus Word. He's been spotty scoring, but man, he can turn it on just like that and beat just about anybody down the floor, get to the hole. But those guys, like I said, Eddie Granberry and Jarvis Haynes, and the way they've been able to step up and to a team that maybe not a lot of expectations were placed on this year, but they've definitely made some noise beating Cape Central a couple nights ago.
And Cape Central, they look good against Charleston, and then just kind of Cape Central they're so up and down.
Term there.
Yeah, they're so up and down. Yeah. All season long. It seems like they're always up and down. You never know what you're going to get unless they're playing Sikeston. It seems like Sikeston always gets their A game. But we'll look kind of the last few minutes here. We'll get off the SEMO Conference. We'll talk about the Oran tournament, the Oit. Otherwise known as the Scott Central Classic.
Scott Central Classic.
The Scott Central won it again, but the thing that kind of raised my eyebrows is the final score of the championship game, them holding Malden to a low score. Mm-hmm. It wasn't an up and down game, and they actually played defense. If Scott Central learns how to play defense, just hand them the trophy. Just hand them that because that's been their problem.
When you think Scott Central, you think full court press, fall back in that zone. Mm-hmm. They're starting to play a little bit more man-to-man, and in certain situations, it's needed. In times they don't know how. They just sit in that zone and it works. For the most of the time when you got a lead you're trying to protect or whatever, it works a lot of times. But when you kind of throw that wrench, teams aren't expecting that from Scott Central now, and they're starting to do that defensively. But you're right, they still got a long way to go. They can definitely look silly a little bit sometimes in the man, but. Coach Klein saw the need. I think Coach Frank Staple kind of introduced it. Klein's kind of going a little bit further with it, and it's I think it worked. Obviously with Malden, it worked.
Yeah, and real quick, I want to mention a girls. The Chaffee tournament is going on right now, and Leah Cobble's
still scoring points.
My goodness. Wow.
She broke school record. I don't.
How many times now?
Yeah, she broke 48 points as school record. Field goals made school record. I mean, she's just hammering Oran's boys and girls. Boys or girls. That's a record.
Every time I look at a box score, it's it's 40 points, 48. I mean, it's just wow. Yeah. And she just can. Somebody guard her. She's going to shoot.
You can.
She's going to make it.
I mean, a lot. I've seen her some highlights and seen her a couple times play. She just gets to the basket. I mean, you can't. When you got a girl that can beat everybody else down the floor, she can make it, and she can pop out and hit some shots too.
She's a sophomore.
Yeah,
she's a sophomore. So by the time she's a senior, I expect 60 points. Yeah, average. An average of 60.
48 is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, she may get that 100 mark. That she may do the Clay Thompson 60 points, and he had the ball in his hands for 88 seconds and 60 points. So, catch and shoot.
Catch and shoot, baby.
So, well, that's this week. Hey, we talked about the SEMO Conference Tournament. We'll see you guys at the championship game tonight, and we'll see you guys next week at some games. We got some bigger games next week as we get ready for the Christmas tournaments.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in the next couple of weeks.
Southeast Missouri Christmas Tournament is seeded. Charleston got the top seed in that one. Bloomfield will be seeded Sunday. So
we'll talk about that
a little bit about that
in a future episode. So we'll see you guys next week on The Last Word.